Does the real world seem unsatisfying?
It's boring, but it's part of my life.
Well, time to level up and reboot reality. Join Toxic Mike and Demonoid as they explore the ever-evolving world of virtual reality and everything it has to offer. Whether you're just starting out or you've been there from the beginning, Reboot Reality will introduce, educate, and guide you to the best in VR. Find it wherever you get podcasts, at toxicradio.net or on the free Toxic Radio app. Reboot Reality. Log in and get immersed. Hey, you. I don't mean to judge, but you don't have enough stuff.
Way to rub it in, jerk.
Know where you can get stuff? We got stuff. Lots of stuff. Get the stuff you need at toxicradio.net or through the free app.
A caveman could do it.
T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all featuring your favorite Toxic Radio shows.
Okay, literal goosebumps.
So get off your ass and get your stuff.
I don't think that kind of language is appropriate.
And get some stuff for the people in your life too, you selfish bitch.
You got yourself a deal.
The Toxic Shop. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's time to take it deep. It's been a hectic day in my life, but that's all right. Nothing new. Got a lot to talk about today. Mike's still a bitch? No, I'm just joking. Mike's here.
That doesn't hurt my soul at all.
No, I'm just joking.
Thank you.
I love Mike.
Just slap me in the face with it, why don't you?
We got Jamie here. That is a rare treat. He's sometimes on the show, sometimes not.
Every once in a while, I'll just pop in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brother.
He pops it in just real quick.
Yep.
That's hot. Real hot. But yeah. So we're testing the strength of delivery because we're gonna review live on air Cheetos, but it's gonna be up to the delivery service to get here, and it says
It's gonna be up to the delivery service.
now. It
to
says
get here.
I picked the superior delivery service, so I'm.
No such thing.
Yeah, who is the superior delivery service?
That would be Grubhub. But
Okay.
I would tell you that it says they should be here in between 6:36 and 6:46 p.m. So at such point, I will signal one of you, and you need to go out there and get this gentleman.
All right, get him and
Or
bring
lady.
him in.
Yeah. Well, gee,
Sit him down in front of a microphone.
Sure.
Oh, why not?
That would be interesting. Come on. We want you to tell us your story.
Why not?
How'd you get here in your life?
How'd you get here in your life? How did you get to this moment? What happened, sir?
Is this the zenith of your life, or is this just the beginning?
Oh my God.
People like we could have like a Joe Dirt like remake. Remember that whole? That's how that whole movie was based off of, right? Was they ran into the janitor?
Yeah.
Remember that whole? Yeah.
I remember that too. When we heard the show coming back through the speakers.
Did you? So we have editing for it. So you missed that stuff if you don't watch us live on toxicradio.net.
We do
Or
have
Taking It Deep with the Godfrey.
We do have supreme, highly functioning editing capabilities here that will hide all of mistakes.
Oh, I thought you said Supreme was editing. I was like, that's new.
Yeah, Supreme is now our top editor. That's why at the very end you get a little funktastic in there.
You're gonna have to charge less per
Love
hour. He can rap, but he ain't editing shit.
No, he ain't. If you follow his TikTok, he ain't editing shit.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
But yeah, we got that going, and it's gonna be pretty cool. So we'll check those Cheetos out. We got to talk a little bit about Elon because that story gets ever so interesting every week. And some other cool stuff. And I'm fascinated. Been having a lot of conversations about clickbait lately and what people choose to believe or choose not to question. And I feel like everybody's guilty of doing that on some level. Some people more than others. I feel like when people do that, it's almost like a religious type of devotion to what they want to believe because they're going off faith or hearsay. But got a few videos to play. Not a few, just one. But if you guys want to catch us live, I told you where before. THEEGODFREY if you don't get all of this and you need some more of the Godfrey, I'm going to be on with me and Gene at 7:30 talk going birds deep. And iTunes, Google Play services, whatever they call it, podcasts, something like that. They change their name all the time. It used to be Google Play Music. iTunes, obviously. Subscribe, sharing is caring. So, that being said, a lot of stuff happening. You know, I've been seeing in the news lately a lot of coverage on this. And before I talk about this is by no means a defense of this said person's actions I'm going to be bringing up. I'm just interested. Black Lives Matter co-founder used $184,000 of the group's funds to pay brother for security services. A lot of stuff is coming out. Some stuff true, some stuff not. But why I'm fascinated about it is I'm not debating that she did or didn't do anything or saying you should be for an organization or whatever that may be. She's getting eviscerated in the press, and I just find it fascinating because what she's done, a lot of our politicians do, but I don't see them getting eviscerated for it in the press. A lot of, business people do these things. Now, she was pretty sloppy with it, and it doesn't excuse what she has done. And they're saying she misappropriated funds in this charity. But I got to tell you, man, a lot of rich people, they like to launder money in charities, and so do politicians. It's out there. You can find it. It's pretty fucking blatant, actually. But this lady's getting the elbow drop from the top rope. And I just kind of wish that, if corruption was that disgusting to us, maybe we would feel that way about all corruption, right? And, it just kind of fascinates me how certain things will turn a blind eye to, even though we say we're disgusted by the action and it has nothing to really do with the person. But when that action is presented by that person that we may look at in a favorable light, then that action doesn't become as offensive. Don't you ever notice that, Mike?
Yeah. And also, for somebody who has voted one of these people in, they don't want to admit that they chose the wrong guy either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if a
update, we won't eat it yet. It'll be later in the show, but the delivery guy has gotten here ahead of schedule.
Oh,
amazing! I told you, the superior delivery service.
Did we find out how he got to this point in his life?
No, we didn't. Jamie let him go.
It was a catch and release program.
Yeah, that was that.
Catch him and throw him back.
Oh, there's the delivery guy. Jamie, can you go get him real quick, please? Thank you. Can you get me some Grey Poupon as well from the refrigerator when you're coming back?
Look at Godfrey and his Foley work.
My Foley work?
Yeah.
What the fuck's that?
Oh, you're not a radio guy.
I don't know what Foley work is, but...
Foley work was theater of the mind back in the day when you didn't have TV and you'd have, basically television shows on the radio, and you'd have to make it sound like a horse or somebody walking in a room or, anybody... that's what they used to do on the radio. They now do it in movies for extra added audio that they needed to have that wasn't in the real cut. But yeah, that's a Foley artist.
Nice, thank you very much. Appreciate that compliment. The audience agree with you as well. Yeah, Gene's right. They all do suck. 99.9% of them. There's one or two good ones. Elon is a hero. That's funny. May be a hero to you, but I can see why some people like him. Here's the thing. So this lady in Black Lives Matter, not really interested in the story, more so the reaction of people to it. And she's getting hammered day after day. And I guess if you give fuel to the fire and we reap what we sow, that's really her fault. Maybe she should have handled those finances a little bit more strictly. I'm not here to litigate that situation, but I just feel like politicians is a great example. People online that people follow. And, I've had people that I like and I follow, and they say certain things, and I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? But one thing that someone I liked brought up was, did you know in Australia they're looking to make it illegal to grow your own food?
Oh, Jesus.
And farm your own animals like pigs and chickens.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Play that video I gave you, Mike.
I played the video?
Yeah.
I had it up this whole entire time. Now you're telling me to play it. I got you.
I want to find out what this is, but I read something briefly and I didn't get into the article. But they were saying that they were trying to pass a bill that would outlaw you growing your own food in Australia.
Oh, my God.
Did you read that?
No.
It was a part of Australia. I think it was New South Wales. Someone was trying to pass a law that won't allow you to grow your own food. And they were saying, well, you could grow your own food, and what if the disease is from your food? It infects the population, kills us all.
Oh, they
we
pulled
can't have that.
Oh, they pulled that card.
I want to know what their justification was, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with like agricultural contamination or, like, I mean, you could justify it if you're a real piece of shit. You could say, well, most pandemics have come from agriculture, animal agriculture. We can't have unchecked pig ownership. That's not fair. We can't if you're growing vegetables. What if your vegetables have ergot in them and diseases? Fucking creeps, man. These fucking creeps, they got a good grip on people during the pandemic. They locked everybody down in Australia, and then you know what? We gotta stop these motherfuckers from growing their own food, because that's how you fucking smoke out an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
You can't even go to the grocery store anymore, and you can't grow your food.
No, dependent.
Take that shot, bitch. Did you find anything?
You are now dependent upon the state.
Passes bill.
I know what to look for. Nothing's coming up. The closest thing I could find was something like this. That's not
New
what
food. No,
you
it's
were
not.
saying.
It's not in New
Oh, it's New
Zealand.
Zealand.
It's in Australia.
I know, but this is close.
New Zealand is like right around the corner.
Could have.
It's got to be a real thing. It seems too good to not.
Got to be a real thing.
It's obviously.
I typed in outlaw growing food in Australia, and not a single thing comes up,
Hold on.
except for that, which was a false thing.
Growing your own food.
They want us completely dependent.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
On,
Damn it. Better not be fake. It might be fake.
But even if it's fake, right? Like
Still
the
a
fake
piece of
is usually
garbage.
the warning.
So, I just like to let you know that what I was talking about is not true. And you just saw a guy that is a world-renowned broadcaster, podcaster. And I would say more of a podcaster than a broadcaster, but very successful, very widely followed. However, he just fell hook, line, and sinker for clickbait mid-air on his show live. Thank goodness he has a very trusty producer, Jamie. Those guys, Jamies seem to be the best producers. I don't know how this seems to happen. We got a Jamie here. So, and let me guess. Yeah, he thought it was real. I mean, didn't he, Mike? Didn't he? He was totally into it, making fun of it, saying, "Oh, I totally can see that. Totally can see it."
Yeah. And the whole thing, and this is one of those guys who does no show prep, reads an article real fast before he goes on air, brings it up, does no preparation, no research.
Is Brad on the line? Joe Rogan for your show prep, Brad. I want you to know that. Joe Rogan for your show prep.
And then I love how the chat room. Oh, I forgot whose podcast I was watching, bro. I watched Joe Rogan already.
You're still tuned in though. Thank God.
But that's what that is. It's seeing something haphazardly before you're going on air. You read a quick little sentence or two, and you run with it. And then, because even when he was trying to talk about it, he's like, I don't know who said this. I don't know this. This is just what happened. He did the same thing that he gets on other people.
But he
for
could
doing.
totally believe that, and it was his confirmation bias, and a lot of people do it.
But the thing with Joe Rogan is, like, we watched it till the very end. There are certain people that will watch a snippet
and
don't have the end part, and all of a sudden they're then at the water cooler at work going to Joe Schmo. Did you hear about them not allowing them to grow food in Australia? And next, 3 days later, it's in China. And
are we that stupid as a species where we don't use critical thinking? Because to me, when I hear that, I could be blindfolded and I could be like, I don't know if I buy that. I don't see people going along with it.
Well, that's the thought process of somebody who has logic. Going where
are there going to be pig police? Did you buy that pig, or did you grow?
Because
did you spawn that pig?
Because we have the understanding that a news story of that magnitude would be front page, would be something CNN was talking about, would be all over, and to be nowhere.
Yeah, and that's like
and
the
you're only hearing it from a guy from work. You're like, well, something doesn't. Add
that's
up.
what's crazy to me. I've watched a little bit of it, and it's hard to stomach because it's just complete contrived bullshit for people that want to like feed on the same shit and just believe what they want to believe because it's in their ecosystem. 2,000 Mules. It's about the election. It is not true.
Right.
Biden sucks, but he won the election. Just like at 16, Trump sucked, but he won the election. And now the point of me bringing it up is not to parse, politics here, just to bring that up as an example. And people will just go with that. But when you use your example of it would be covered, if there was that kind of rampant fraud, Fox News would be dry humping that thing. They would be all over it because it would be advantageous for them and their viewership that they have. So did they just let that one slip by? Really? No, they didn't because it's not true.
Right.
And since they're an Associated Press organization, as we saw during the election, if you start putting out things that are demonstrably false, you will get sued. Like, I believe it was OAN, One American News, saying that the voting machines were rigged. Well, Dominion Voting sued the shit out of them. And they had to apologize on TV with their tail between their legs because they were lying. And they were doing it for ratings. Now, on a smaller macro scale, micro scale, we eat up that stuff, and this ties into Elon Musk here, right? Like he's saying he's pulling back on this purchase, which I think is hilarious. I think it's a negotiation playing good on him, a genius move, I think, if he wants to get it cheaper. I believe they can squeeze $1 billion out of him, which probably is nothing to him if he backs out of the deal from what I'm reading. But he's asking about the bots, which he probably already knew going in, but that's a legitimate question, right? And the reason why I'm bringing it up and tying this in is because there's a lot of fake news articles that springboard off of Twitter that just form into this ecosystem, and I believe the birthplace of a lot of this stuff is Twitter. You can trace it back to Twitter a lot. And there's either bots or people are on there trolling. And I think Elon has a fair question about like how many bots are on there. And we always knew there were a ton of bots in there. I mean, I'd be willing to say on that platform, out of all the social media platforms, it has the most bots would be Twitter. Wouldn't you be willing to say that, Mike?
I don't know. It's very easy to. Everybody's made accounts and has made multiple accounts, especially somebody who runs a podcast, has a personal page, and all this other stuff. You know how easy it is to make millions of accounts or many different email addresses. To say that Twitter is like the epicenter of bots, I'm not 100% sure because it's very easy to make and manage and duplicate accounts on Instagram or on on TikTok. The one that isn't very easy is Facebook.
Yeah, now they say Facebook Messenger is good for bots. Facebook Messenger.
Right, Facebook. It's I don't know if there's a difference.
Messenger,
but can you just sign up for Messenger?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I know that you can just have a bullshit account. I mean, I always laugh when I'll get a random friend request, and it'll be some hot chick, and then I'll look at who her friends are, and there either will be no mutual friends or they're all the older guys on my friends profile,
right.
And I'm like, oh my god, and I just think it's funny because, I mean, they are known for fake profiles, definitely. I could tell you that's true. Like, if you ever went on Facebook dating, they have a dating app within there.
Yeah.
They have so many hot Asian chicks. It's unbelievable.
They
have the market corner on the hot Asian chicks on Facebook dating. And they'll message you back and say, can you talk to me on WhatsApp? I'm like, oh, that's nice. They're like, what are you here for? Bomb-ass pussy. And they're like, that's rude, sir. I'm like, so it's trying to get me to look at your webcam. But, it just, I think it's a legit question from him about the bots.
I love the sole thought process that he knew going into this what he was going to do. The thought process that he offered Twitter this insane amount of money to buy them. The thought process that the higher ups, the senior management, the owners, all were super stoked that he was coming along to pay all this money to buy them out. The meetings that they had, thinking about we're going to get all this money, and then the almost evilish way that he must have said to them, "Oh yeah, by the way, for this to go through, you must show me proof of how many bot accounts are on your platform," because they were saying that it was under like 5%. and he's saying what I forget how much he was saying that it's projected that they have, but it was like a shit ton more, and that would 100% make his offer null and void because they lied about how many bots, which then makes their company in some regards fake.
So I think it's a negotiation tactic because where is his evidence that they have more than 5%? And that's going to be pretty hard to find.
Well, so that's the whole thing. But he's saying he is.
I know back in the day there used to be a lot more bots.
It's not up to him to prove that they have more than 5%. It's up to them to prove that they have less than 5%. And they have already stated that they did not want to release that information. So if they go ahead,
I'm pretty sure he knew that.
If they go ahead,
they weren't going to want to release that.
Right. If they go ahead and release that information and it's on the up and up, then cool, he takes over Twitter. But if they don't, then it creates a bigger issue with the company not releasing information about their subscribers.
He's gonna buy it. I think this is just bullshit.
Uh-huh.
I think he's just either trying to get a price reduction, which I don't know if that's gonna happen because they have an agreement in place already saying, and it covers instances like this, like if the share went down detrimentally because of it. I mean, there's $1 billion penalty in there of called a breakup fee, but $1 billion to Elon Musk is like, it's a lot of money. But I'm just saying to him, it's not going to hurt him. So it's probably a risk worth taking, especially if he genuinely believes that it's not a good buy. I mean, you're losing $1 billion to Explore versus paying $44 billion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm interested to see how it plays out. But I'm not surprised because this is the kind of stuff he does, and this is just who he is. So he's just staying true to form.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be something that dissolves. We'll see.
You?
I do not. I think he's going to buy it. I don't see how he's not.
No, I think it dissolves. I think he did this.
You think so? No.
I think he did this to just call them out, to say, okay, put your chips on the table. Let's see, knowing that they wouldn't.
Well, let me ask you a question. Does Elon get more pop off of posting on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook? Twitter. Right. He wants to own the fucking court, and that's what he's doing.
We'll see. I don't agree.
But that's why they play the games. So speaking of Elon, not really him, they're saying that EVs no longer an economic alternative to regular cars as supercharging rates go through the roof. So they're saying electric's going up. Who saw that coming? Not me, but I know a lot of people did. It's still got to be cheaper than filling up a tank of gas.
100. I mean, from my understanding, people could tell me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've seen and heard, is that, filling up, per se, your electric car on electricity, charging it, costs about $20 a week.
Well, this one says if you purchase, so it's doubled since 2018, they're saying, but if you purchase the 2021 Standard Range Model 3, you can expect to pay about $7.65 to fully charge the battery. That brings the cost per mile to about 3 cents. This is in 2021, $2.91 per 100 miles. Still a lot better than gas, but that's increasing. So they're saying the gap is closing.
But is this, so there's a difference though? Is this at the charge stations? Because if it's at the charge stations, because then, I've got my neighbors right next to me, both have electric cars. One has a Tesla.
This is based off charging stations.
And one has another one. But you can have a charging, quote unquote, station, a charging rig hooked up at your home that uses your own electricity to charge your car. So you have a workaround. You have a bypass of the charging stations that, going from work to home to work, you're charging them from home for only $20 a week or, $15 a week, whatever it is. You don't have to use the charging stations unless you're away from home for long enough time that you need to stop off and get one. And it might be more, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be.
They're doing charging stations because it's probably going to be hard to get that data from someone's personal electricity, right?
But yeah, absolutely. You can't just justify whether or not they've got their car plugged in or a heavy duty machine plugged in that's utilizing the electricity. Also, with charging stations, you've got to pay for the installation of that charging station, the upkeep of that charging station. There's a lot more overhead that goes into it than if you're charging at home. Again, I still think it's going to be way lower no matter what they do.
Yeah, they're saying it's creeping up. Interesting, though. But I do want to see what happens when these people will pay for convenience. Because the Koreans have developed a way to supercharge these cars. Like, I'm talking like as quick as it takes to fill up a tank of gas. And when that technology gets deployed, wow, that's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, last time I checked, I think somebody charged up their car in, I think, 8 or 10 minutes, which, yeah, is a decent amount of time when you're waiting just for your car to fully charge. But we all knew that was going to, you know, I mean, we all knew that time was going to decrease, especially when, you know, you've got devices that you buy on a regular basis, your phones and everything else that have supercharge. You know, if they could do that technology in a phone, they're going to do that technology in a car.
Speaking of cars, have you ever heard of Carvana, the car vending machine company?
Carvana.
Don't ever buy a car from there if anybody's listening now. If you listen to one thing, I tell you.
Okay.
As someone that's been in this industry, never, ever buy a car from Carvana.
Okay, but people like to push the big button and then your car gets delivered.
Yep. You know what else they like? They like when they don't get stopped by the cops because they never registered your car or got a title for it.
Oh.
Carvana lawsuit alleges unfair, deceptive practices. I have a car that I legally can't drive. So I've been in this industry. I spent a lot of time in it. There's a ton of fucking paperwork that goes on in the back end that you have to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. You're dealing with 50 states. They all have different laws. There's things you can do and can't do. The inspection laws are different. The registration laws are different. The taxes are different. The fees that are charged outside of the taxes are different. The documentation fees are different. So your people that are doing the back end work for a dealership have to be on fucking point. Why do they have to be on point? Because it will eventually fuck the customer and they're going to lose their shit or sue you or just maybe drive the car through the showroom. But it's a national used car dealer that brags about making car buying easier. And this place is great for people that are socially awkward because they love you because they can just put it in you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
Bad interest rates, shitty cars, bad quality. And I know this firsthand. I've seen it. I've helped people. And then now it's coming out, and I've been telling people this for a while. They're like, isn't that cool? You could get your car dropped off at the front. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can't afford a fucking Ferrari, and that's when you get your car dropped off at the front of your house. Until then, go pick your Toyota Corolla up at the dealership, bitch. But
Hey.
and oh, I'm sorry, you have a Corolla, Mike. Great cars, by the way. I have nothing against Corollas.
I do.
Do you? Okay, all right. You could go pick your Chevy Celebrity up at the Chevy dealership.
That ain't happening either.
That was a shitty, very shitty. You remember that car, don't you, Jamie? That was a shitty car. My parents had one. 5-cylinder. What the fuck were they thinking? Anyway.
5-cylinder.
It was a 5-cylinder, I believe. Yeah. The news comes after the company announced that they will be laying off 2,500 employees. So naturally, everybody's like, I'm fucking telling everybody about it. And at this point, I'm done, said Vernon Piper of Holland. That's a Bucks County place. He purchased a Nissan Sentra from the company in September. I have a car that I legally can't drive. He said that means he can't even get to his job. I don't know how long you're going to be able to afford me the opportunity to continue working from home, he said. Piper can't drive the car because his temporary tags expired 5 months ago. Now, I've seen it go over like a couple of days because of missed paperwork and shit here. 5 months you've been driving dirty, and he still hasn't received his registration. And he's not alone. We filed 2 class action lawsuits against Carvana, said attorney Robert Coco, for the failure to deliver, it looks like cuckoo actually, to deliver permanent registration to the vehicles to the consumers who purchased them. The lawsuit claims Carvana failed to timely register cars as it's promised. That's crazy. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. So now they laid off 2,500 employees. They're blaming a recession. I say bullshit, and I'm going to tell you why it's bullshit. Car dealers are making money hand over fist right now on used and new cars because of the shortage of microchips, thus flipping the car market upside down. So they should be making tons of profit because I know ones that are, a lot are, and the way these organizations usually are built is there's a lot of commission being paid out based off performance, you know, except for your back end people for the most part. So they maybe have less of that, maybe they're paying people that, but their shares took a plunge to $666 or 18%. It was $30 on that Wednesday, the preceding Wednesday. It tumbled 87% since the start of this year. 87%. So Garcia, who is the billionaire's father is a major shareholder in Carvana, said the workers losing their jobs will receive 4 weeks of pay as well as 1 week for every year of service with the company in a regulatory filing. So they started singing, the canary started singing. They started saying what was going on. So 2 workers who lost their jobs in the layoffs told CBS that they had heard nothing directly from managers at Carvana. Instead, they were informed via Garcia's email on Tuesday morning, and then a short time later lost access to the company's corporate network. Wow. So they cut him off and didn't even tell him, including email and Slack. They received text telling them to attend a Zoom meeting later that morning where a woman informed them that their jobs had been cut. That's interesting. Pretty professional, huh? One of our car slogans is treat customers as well as you treat your own mom. And we didn't get treated that way as employees. So, I don't know if anybody knows about this, but do you know anything about the founder of Carvana?
No.
No.
I believe, just before I say this, oh yeah, so he, the founder of Carvana, is a felon.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, man, and I guess I wouldn't have never invested in it. So how an ex-con became a billionaire from used cars. You want to know why he was a felon? Because in the 90s,
Grand Theft Auto?
almost, he pled guilty to felony bank fraud for his role in the Lincoln Savings and Association collapse.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, look at that shit. I don't give a fuck how high the stock was. If I know that's you and you found the company, I'm not doing shit. And look, the results can't be argued. This is the guy that found it. Starts with the leader, and guess what happened? So are you surprised now after hearing that when you hear what this guy was known for? So in 1990, then a Tucson-based real estate developer, funny, it's a way to launder money, pleaded guilty to a felony bank fraud charge for his role as a straw borrower in the collapse of Charles Keating's Lincoln Savings and Loan Association. Garcia fraudulently obtained $30 million line of credit in a series of transactions that also helped Lincoln hide its ownership in risky desert Arizona land from regulators. He spent 3 years on probation, and he and his family filed for bankruptcy. So in 1991, Garcia bought Ugly Duckling, a bankrupt rent-a-car franchise, for under $1 million, merged it with his own fledgling finance company, and turned it into a company selling and financing used cars for some prime buyers. That means you have bad credit, and you're going to be paying an ass load of interest on your car. I mean, a lot. So he took the company public, trading under the ticker Ugly in 1999, and Garcia was involved in 6 lawsuits alleging he had abused his position to profit from a real estate deal where he ultimately acquired 17 company properties at 10% discount. In 2002, Garcia and the former Ugly Duckling CEO took the company private and renamed it Drive Time. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. So, yeah, this guy, scumbag.
Yeah, sounds like it.
He's a piece of shit. So, on our themes of piece of shit, I know G might like this one if he's listening. Yankees cut prospect Jake Sanford for allegedly stealing from teammates and scamming fans. Have you guys heard about this one?
Nope.
So, following in the footsteps of the infamous Ruben Rivera, another Yankees prospect has been released for allegedly stealing from his teammates. Yankees cut 2019 third-round pick Jake Sanford last Thursday for allegedly stealing from his minor league teammates and scamming people for money online, the Post confirmed. According to the source, a 24-year-old outfielder was released last week after a team investigation found Sanford has stolen from teammates, including equipment that he would then try to sell online, as first reported by New Jersey media. Additionally, a source said Sanford, who played college baseball at Western Kentucky, also accepted money from prospective buyers for the equipment, then failed to deliver. That's a piece of shit move, huh? You're a piece of garbage. So apparently he was selling memorabilia too, and it was fake memorabilia. I haven't seen that, but I've seen that rumored online. Just to know, if you fake a signature and try to sell it online, it's actually, I believe, a felony. If you try to say that.
What?
If you say that Pete Rose signed this and they find out that you forged it online, I believe it's a felony. You cannot sell fake memorabilia like that.
I'd be surprised if it's an actual felony. But
there's a guy.
A forgery is a forgery, whether it doesn't
There's a
matter.
guy-
Forgery is a felony. Doesn't matter what it is.
I forget his name, but there was a guy, and they made a documentary about him they were like, man, he gets all the great memorabilia, and they were trying to figure out how, and it's good.
I would just say I drew a picture of his signature on this piece of paper.
Yeah, that's good. Great defense. Oh, is it?
But
it was Bill's. It was Bill's. You got to be kidding me! Last night, on
Wire to wire.
On wire to wire. I was playing softball. I would have heard it earlier, but listen. So, Brad wants to get signed up with Carvana. I got you, Brad. Let me know. You got it. You got a better credit than that, Brad. That's if you're going to Carvana, man.
Why are you dogging on people going to Carvana?
Because
why are you dogging on people, bro?
I'm not dogging on them. They take advantage of people. Like I saw interest rates on certain cars.
Any car dealership, for the most part, will take advantage of people as much as they will allow themselves to be taken advantage of.
But I want you to think. But here's the thing about that. This is what you don't get, and this is why people are stupid about that. You're right about that. But when you're face to face, you can fight that in person. When everything's done online and you don't talk to anybody, you can't do that.
I mean, you can, you can't. There's also online the ability to interact with somebody through chat, through email.
These guys are not very responsive.
And there's also the ability to say, okay, this isn't a good deal, and just back out.
Mm-hmm. Well, but that's why they're getting sued, because
it's buyer beware.
If you don't,
for any dealership,
Carvana's gone above and beyond. Like they're in the stratosphere of the scumbagness. 5 months. This is not.
But what you're dealing with a pool of scumbags.
Oh, I mean,
is there a stratosphere of scumbags?
There's dealerships that do it right, and there's some that don't. It's always been like that.
A dealership that actually looks out for the best interest of the customer coming in.
Listen, I know when I worked at Conacelli that if something went wrong with a salesperson or a sales manager, and you went to Dom about it, Dom would make it right. I know. I've seen him do it, and I've been in situations where it's like I don't think it's gonna get done properly. I don't think it's gonna, and he made it right every time. I mean, I could tell you a time where.
But you know how much, being somebody that was in that industry, how much individuals, first off, their anxiety comes in. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not sure. They just need a car to get to work, and they run to those individuals who have either been in the industry or know more than they do to go with them to buy a car, because it is such a stressful, anxiety-ridden ritual to go there and try to buy a car and try not to take it up the keister from the salesman.
I'll tell you this. So I often hear some salespeople, weak salespeople, say, "I can't be good because I'm not a dishonest person." And what I say to them is, there's people out there, and I've seen these salespeople that are really successful, that people look for, that are that type of polished person where they're completely transparent, and people look for those salespeople and they build a following. So you can find that type of salesperson that's a good salesperson at a dealership. You just got to pick them out. Just like, when you meet a person, like, I'm not vibing with this person, I don't trust them. And you got to use your critical thinking. My dealership was pretty good with their customers. I only worked at one, but I've heard some horror stories. But Carvana takes the cake because they're putting you in a situation with the registration and the title where there's nothing you can fucking do about it. When you get pulled over by a cop, he's not hearing your shit.
Well, that is yes, that
and
is
I
a
know,
horrible thing.
I know
that
the dealership I worked at, they would, if that happened, they would pay for the ticket, they would make it right, and they would get it overnighted to them immediately, and they would make it number one priority. These guys, when you do it all online and you don't have a person you can meet with, there is no back and forth. There's no responsibility. You don't know that person. There's no emotion involved in it.
Well, I would imagine it's the difference between, dealing with a mom and pop pizza shop, and they're right there in front of you. You can talk to them, rather than dealing with Papa John's, which is a corporation, and you've got to go through the corporation to get results. It's going to take a lot longer. It's going to be a lot more painful. It's going to be a lot more of an issue going through Papa John's to get answers or a result, rather than Tony's Pizzeria up the street, where there is no corporate wall to get past.
Well, it's not even that. Like, the way they fashion it. So everybody was all excited about buying those cars when they first came out from Carvana, and I was like, be careful what you ask for, because what you need at a dealership that you feel good is transparency. And you were going to buy a product that had even less transparency than the other one that you were running away from. And they're like, you know what? These guys are great. They're doing it for charity. They're dropping the cars off for free at people's houses. They just love us. They're not looking to make any money at all. They're better than the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. It's funny. The people that, you know, I don't know. I have a take on weak salespeople, and then we'll get to our Cheetos wings.
I never tip them.
What, weak salespeople? I definitely would have crushed you at the car dealership if you came to me, just because you're not a tipper. I would have been like, I made $10,000 on this guy, and I put him in a 1990 Yugo, and he's paying 19% interest. No, but so I often hear people say, you know, I told you should have bought a house. It was the lowest interest rate ever. I told you, and you know, they got talked out of it. And I told you should have took this loan. My question to those people is, where'd you get weak? Because you're just saying you had the best interest rate of all time and you couldn't close them. Maybe you should be like, I was weak as a salesperson. Because at the same time, if you have someone that maybe shopped a house or a mortgage with you and they're in the market in the future, and you're out there on social media saying, I told you so, they're not going to come back to you because you're throwing their mistake in their face. They're going to be like, I'm going to go buy from someone else. So as a salesperson, humble yourself and say, yeah, I was weak. I had the best interest rate ever, and I couldn't close them. You know, I know sometimes people didn't have inventory, but you shouldn't be out there shaming people because they didn't buy a house when, you know, inventory was low and because you were a weak salesperson. Weak. I think that's weak, Mike. And
Wizzeek.
Let's get these wings. Can someone assist? Jamie, Mike, one of you guys?
Well, I'm afraid that we can't really do that, can we?
Oh no, we can. We're just gonna take a bite out of one.
Wait a minute. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be eating in the
studio.
In the studio. Well, he's gonna take.
You are the boss, however.
He's gonna take one bite. We didn't talk about
one
this
bite. Everybody
beforehand,
knows the rules,
but there is no eating in the studio.
Except
we
when
know
Mike.
the rules.
Except when Mike runs through the studio naked, crushing a whole bag of pretzels.
What the what?
What?
Oh, that's his kid. I'm sorry, but you know. Listen, give Mike the red ones.
Can we shoot
and give me the regular ones.
Mike is going to take care of you.
All right, Mike. Yeah, so we're gonna test these Cheetos wings out. They're from Cosmic Wings.
And where are they at?
They're like a what you would call a ghost kitchen or a VR. I believe they're out of Applebee's, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But apparently they're covered in Cheeto dust. One is Inferno, one is not. Mike is gonna eat the Inferno because he's Mike, and I'm gonna eat the non-Inferno. I mean, I'll try the Inferno if Mike puts like an Inferno one in there, but they're in two separate boxes. We got blue cheese and ranch, and yeah.
You can keep blue cheese.
What if servers made you pay according to how nice and engaging you are? If you are a nice customer, you pay less. If you're Mike, you pay more. So that's a valid question, Brad. So I know Laura does not allow that to go down. I could see Laura's. So I have full faith. Like if they're out and Mike tries to pull like a no tip card, he's getting overruled by Laura immediately. I know it's happening. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no evidence to back that up.
Here we go. Now remember, we're only eating
up after this.
Oh yeah. So did you put a hot one in there for me?
This is the two.
This is the hot one.
Yes.
You got to do the hot one.
Right, I've got mine.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, guys, listen. I guess we're cleaning up after this. He says, like I'm gonna eat it like the Cookie Man, and so we have or the Cookie Monster. So this is the Inferno, and I'm flats over the wings. I'm sorry, all day long. And this is it definitely looks like they crumpled Cheeto dust to put on it, and this is the regular.
It looks
Cheeto.
like it.
Like I thought they would I thought this was gonna be a lot more gourmet. I was
With
wrong.
Cheetos, really?
Well, I've seen people do these reviews online.
Okay.
Donnie's gonna be pissed.
Oh God, he is.
He doesn't. Well, you know what? I'll be if he watches the show.
I'm allowing this one time because I was not informed of this beforehand. But let's do this.
All right, I'm going with regular. You're going Inferno.
Okay.
And I'm being left out.
You want some, Jamie?
I'll grab some later.
Okay.
But I'll try the Inferno.
The regular is yeah, it's kind of like it's a wing dipped in Cheeto. Do you get a crunch from it, Mike?
Not really.
It's kind of soggy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It probably sat in the container too long.
I don't know, man. I feel like it doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look bad though. I'll say that.
All right, so now I'm going in with the Flamin' Hot. I don't know how hot the Flamin' Hot's going to be.
It's fine.
All right, so the Flaming Hot.
How hot is the flaming hot?
And it's got a little
not.
bit. It's not that. It's got a little bit of a hot aftertaste. I mean, it's hot for me, but for Mike, this is like grape juice. Like, ugh.
I find a lot of things where they advertise it as hot. I mean, there's just no heat whatsoever.
Donnie wanted to elbow drop like 9 cheesesteaks on air too. So this is slightly different, and sometimes the rules have to be violated. Don't you go forward in the video either, Mike? I mean,
Why would I do that?
I meant Gene. So, yeah.
I'll grab a few between shows.
There's absolutely no heat.
No heat.
None whatsoever.
Is it worth it?
It's an okay wing.
It's an okay. I agree. I'm giving this like
1 out of 10.
no 4.8 out of 10.
Oh,
It's
almost
not
half.
like it's
Okay.
not like 7-Eleven or like leftover 3-day wings.
Okay.
It's mid range. Wouldn't you agree, Mike? Mid range. It's a mid range wing, like right in the middle.
The regular one is better because it has more flavor.
Yeah.
Because that's an actual Cheeto.
Well, they do have flaming hot Cheetos. I did like the regular one better. But it reminds me.
Yeah, regular has like a cheesiness to it.
It reminds me of like just different flavored garlic parm wings. You know how they put the garlic parm on the wings? You've had those before?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad.
Mike, one bite, everybody knows the rules. It's like $5.
My dinner.
Oh, okay. Well, you earned it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I would buy these wings again. Would you buy these wings, Mike?
Nope.
Now it is 12.
Nope.
9 wings for $12.99, which is a goddamn bargain these days.
Price-wise, it doesn't sound too bad. But
No.
for the quality, is the quality worth the price?
Yeah, man. I think it would be better if they fried them harder. It needs a crispier. It needs like a crispier outside, right?
Well, from what
Yeah,
you
I
guys
definitely
are
need them
describing,
harder.
I would say yeah.
I mean, it didn't really sit out there that long to get that soggy. I mean, it shouldn't be that wet. Applebee's is the ones who do this. It's their ghost kitchen for wings.
Okay.
So that's who does it. So not bad. Okay. But yeah. I'm gonna write this off on the end of the tax year. I want my money back. So but I will say that the delivery service was 5-star. He got here 10 minutes before it was estimated.
Yeah,
to
he
be
was
here.
early.
All right. So regular wing, the regular Cheeto one, the cheese Cheeto, good. If I was at a bar, I would get those ones. The flaming hot, in terms of being hot in any way, shape, or form, not a chance in hell.
Now, is that because it was disgusting or it just is disappointing because the heat is not existent?
Disappointing because the heat is not existent. The one thing I really do hate is going to a bar and them having like 911 wings or super hot wings
And
or
there's
even
no
just
heat.
hot wings, and you eat them and there's barely any heat to them.
Yeah.
It's a huge pet peeve of mine. If you're gonna label something hot,
Mike goes in there,
or
he's
have
like,
heat.
I'm not going to tip you, and I want to burn my butthole.
Right. That's what you want. You want some butthole burning wings.
Blowing the old ring. Blowing the
if
old ring.
that's what they're advertising for. And if my butthole's not burning, I want my money back.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a garlic parmesan buffalo zesty garlic type of guy. I do like the different sauces. I think they're pretty good.
Mango habanero.
But what do you think the most... There was a National Buffaloing Festival, I believe, in Buffalo. What do you think the most disgusting flavor was that they had? I think everybody will go ill when they hear this, but it's
God,
not.
I couldn't even imagine.
black licorice wings.
That
Ugh.
actually sounds pretty good.
I can't. Are you?
What?
Are you even human?
I would eat that. That sounds good.
How's that sound? Do you like black licorice?
Yes.
I do too. I do, but not on my fucking wings.
I actually think that it would be decent.
Like,
Oh,
I think if
yeah.
you're the type of person that smokes wings in a smoker, you should be executed. You should be taken out back.
I think it would be decent.
Smo-
I would definitely.
Smoked wings are nasty. Have you ever smoked wings, Jamie?
I have.
You like them, don't you? Are you?
Well, that's just it. You don't leave them in the smoker very long, but you still have to actually cook them a little bit afterwards.
If you smoke
And
them
you can
too
still
long,
you still have to fry them if you fry them. The smoking is just to add a little bit of flavor. You don't need them in there very long. You can very easily over smoke a wing.
if you smoke a wing and you over smoke it, it literally tastes like someone took the chicken and dipped it in fucking ash. Like, it's like I'm eating burned wood right now. That's what it tastes like. It's horrible. Mike,
I'm gonna have to try it again. I just bought a new smoker.
Mike, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
The man's eating his dinner. Leave him alone.
And there's no food in the studio.
I've been that drunk guy at a party when the wings are all gone. Go around and eat the meat the people left.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why
Mike.
am I not surprised?
I mean, I am not surprised, but
Actually did that at a casino where we were able to finagle our way into a party that had some big time sports newscaster there. And
was it Ron Burgundy?
I forget his name, but he's a local guy. And it was some kind of party, and one of the guys we were there.
Where
knew
was
the
this at?
people
San
there.
Diego?
This was at one of the casinos in PA and in Philly. And I was so
Merrill
wasted.
Reese?
It was my birthday, and walking around, and I just started eating whatever I could find.
You were drunk?
Yeah.
So you said, I'm not going to pay for food here.
Mhm.
I'm just going to eat the wings off of that.
Uh-huh.
What if they were eating ass before they had wings? I mean, that's possible.
You don't have critical thinking when you're drunk.
Yeah, I could
Mm.
tell. Oh, I love the way you suck your fingers there. Can you do it slower for the camera? Oh, my God. There goes our viewers, folks.
They're gone.
Yeah. I can't. So Laura says, that's fucking disgusting, Michael. Thank goodness you didn't give me any diseases.
What disease are you going to get from eating leftover wigs?
Time to break out the testing kit. She's like, thanks for making me a human petri dish, because I wonder how many things that you have done like that she doesn't know about, that she's hearing about now, and she's like, shit.
We'll have an episode on that.
There's-
That being said,
I bet you
Oh,
I
jeez.
can just imagine Laura's face, how many times she's heard things that she didn't know about you, and she's like this.
We would need her in studio for that one. We would need to have her here.
That's other people's fucking spit, she says.
I mean, yeah, if you're drunk and you're at a club and you hook up with a couple of people, that's other people's spit too. You're not freaking out because you hooked up with a guy or a girl at a club when you're drunk. Why would you freak out about doing that?
I just, because you're wiping because they're touching it with their hands, you're wiping your
So?
fingers. Oh, this is the guy who thinks like jeans make the
If
penis
you're at
clean.
a club or at a bar and you hook up with a random person, what's the difference?
Have you ever gone to a club, like a rave?
I mean, not a rave, but I've been to clubs, I've been to bars. I mean, and you hook up with a random person.
Now I
That's
know
their
why
spit.
Now I know why you're a juggalo. That was probably your shit. Like, you're like, does anybody shower here? I don't. Let's fucking hang out.
Well, you
Toast
know,
the fuego.
we were talking about logical thinking. That's a logical way of looking at something. How come one thing is okay, hooking up with random people and having their spit in your mouth, but doing the other thing isn't?
Wow. Well, every week we learn something new and disgusting about Mike. The name Toxic Mike is he's living true to it, and
It well deserved, yes.
well deserved. I
Apologize to my kids when they get older.
mean, next thing you know, next week you're gonna reveal that you wipe toward the front. So don't. If you do, man, I don't even know what to say anymore. But I absolutely hate this fucking conversation. Good to know what you did before. It's not okay at this point. That's so great. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. About 7:30, we're gonna go birds deep and jump on. Mean G will be on here with us, and big week in Eagles football. But thanks for tuning in and listening.
No spit swapping on that show, right?
No spit swapping.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be done. And yeah, you know where to find the show. You can find it on Taking It Deep with The Godfrey, or Taking It Deep on Facebook. You can find it on toxic.net, youtube.com/play, don't play it safe, play toxic. Was that right? That was right?
/play it toxic.
Play toxic. Okay. That's the slogan. Anyway,
Right.
just Google Toxic Radio YouTube. You'll
You'll
find
find it.
And subscribe. Sharing is caring. Give us a like. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for taking the time to spit in time's face with us today. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep. Wash your hands, Mike.